do it. They took the wrong tray. I'm real sorry, Kath.
You tried hard, Merv.
Mervyn hates me now, and I'll let you down.
No, you haven't. Now, are you sure you weren't reported?
Nah, Miss Stout, she thought it was an accident. She's not very bright.
And you couldn't get to the solitary food?
There weren't time. I had to stop the other stuff going to isolation. I couldn't get their mum sick, could I?
No, you couldn't.
You should have seen me. Wham! I was real fast like Superman. I saved the day.
Yes, you were very clever.
There's nothing more I can tell you. Your mother is quite well. There's nothing I can do about that.
Who's that?
Nancy McCormack's son. He wants to see her.
Which paper? Oh, Mr. McCormick, that's paper I wouldn't take it at all seriously. Well, I don't see that serves any purpose. Now, if you...
I take it Mr. McCormack isn't too happy.
Well, we'll find out in about 20 minutes. He's on his way here.
I'm not surprised. If he read that article you showed me, he must be worried sick.
He did. He quoted it word for word.
Will he be able to see McCormack?
No, not while she's in solitary. And for her own peace of mind, I'd rather she didn't know he was coming.
Or do you think it'll disturb her?
Yes, they're extremely close. It'd just make it more difficult for her if she knew he were here.
Yes, I'm sure of it.
You better warn the rest of the officers, Meg. He could cause trouble.
Right, but don't worry. I'll be here when he arrives.
Yes, well, kid gloves. With all the publicity, he's got reason to be concerned.
And so is his mother if Joan isn't found alive.
How'd it go?
Not too well.
But didn't you tell them this would get rid of Maxwell
Yes,
for good?
I told them, but they still weren't too keen to hand anything over.
Oh, the lousy stinker bitches.
You can hardly blame them. They've paid a full week's protection money. They've hardly got anything left. We're just going to have to work extra hard with the decorations. This soiree's not going to be remembered for its food.
Yeah, well, here's my bit.
Oh, how inspired. You love it.
This is from Mr. Pringle. Oh, what is it?
Oh.
Woo!
Custard pies and jam tarts.
He said to tell you they were cheaper than profiteroles and just as gooey.
Oh, the angel, he relented.
Good old Mr. P, eh? What'd they taste like? Well, how would I know?
And Mrs. Reynolds doesn't mind us having the party.
Oh, just the opposite. She thinks it's a wonderful idea.
Oh, that's great, isn't it, Lexi?
Yeah, great. And I'm invited too. I'm taking over from Mr. Adams as your escort.
Woo! Now there's a break. I mean, it's no fun raging with Roddy, eh?
There for Merle's party.
Don't you mean Maxwell's farewell?
Lexi, you put that down.
Up against the wall. I have some news for you.
Well, what about?
Your son.
Peter, what's happened to him?
He's coming to the prison.
Oh, I can see him.
I'm not sure. They're not going to tell you he's coming, but I thought you should know.
Oh, thank you. Please, please let me see him. I just want to explain. He won't know what to think.
I might be able to arrange it, if only you'd just cooperate.
Well, what do I have to do?
Just tell me what really happened to Joan Ferguson.
But it's just as I told Mrs. Reynolds. When I last saw Miss Ferguson, she was alive and going for help, and that is the truth. Now, please, can I see Peter?
I believe you should. He's very upset, you know.
Why won't they let me see him?
I've told you. Look, I might be able to help there. Might.
But I've told you all I know, honestly.
It's not enough. You know more, and you need to see your son. Help me, and I'll help you.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I mean, I can understand the paper's not giving out any names.
It's Meg here.
Don't worry, darling. If there's anything the matter, they would have told you by now.
I'm beginning to wonder if they know themselves.
Right, thanks. Mr. McCormick, I do sympathise with your position, but do try and understand
No,
mine.
I don't give a stuff about your position. All I want to know...
The lady's only trying
Danny,
to...
just keep out of this, okay?
Sister,
Sweetheart, I know what
Meg
I'm doing,
Morris here.
okay?
Is the governor with you? Well, if you do see her, will you get her to call me at reception? Yes, thanks. I'm sorry, that's all I can do for you, Mr. McCormick.
Oh,
now,
well,
if you
that's
just
not
like
good
to take a
enough.
seat...
I've got a right to know whether or not
Here's the governor now. Mrs. Reynolds, this is Peter McCormick.
Yeah, I'm Peter McCormick. I'm told you're the only person here who can tell me anything about my mother.
She's fine, Mr. McCormack. As a matter of fact, I was just coming
I'd like
out.
to see her, please.
I'm afraid that's not possible at the moment.
Why not?
She's in solitary confinement until we can find out exactly what happened. I can only reassure you that she is well, and I'll be in touch as soon as she's allowed to have visitors.
Now, I'm sick of this. If I don't hear from you by tonight, I'll be talking to every radio and television station in town about this. Come on, Danielle.
Mr. McCormack.
Sorry, look, I'll try and talk to her.
Get me the minister. I'll take it in my office.
Peter,
Yeah?
I hate this place.
Well, I don't know. You get 3 squares a day and a roof over your head. I hate it too.
You know, of all the mistakes I ever made, the one that upsets me most was something I did to Peter when he was a little boy. I'd made some scones, and I put them on the kitchen table to cool while I went outside to hang up some washing. Well, he asked if he could have one, and I said no, he'd have to wait. When I came back inside later, there were 2 missing. Well, he swore he didn't take them. I didn't believe him, and I sent him to his room and I told him he'd have to stay there as a punishment until he told the truth. He broke his heart. He'd been in there nearly all day when I discovered it was his father who'd eaten the scones.
Kids don't remember things like that.
They do, you know. He reminded me of it the night of his 18th birthday. He said he'd always admired me for the way I had the courage to go to him and admit I'd been in the wrong in punishing him. I wonder what he'd think if he saw me today.
What do you mean?
This is the 2nd time in a row he's been here to visit me, and I've been in solitary.
How do you know that?
Mr. Adams told me.
A rotten little bastard! Hasn't he got any feelings at all?
Only for himself, apparently. You know, he told me to arrange for me to see Peter if I told him the truth about what happened to Miss Ferguson.
Hey! I want to see the governor! Screw! Screw!
Girls, the streamers are lovely. Now, here's 2 more balloons I managed to scrounge. Would you believe of all people to sprinkle? And how are the parcels going? Oh, aren't they dear little parcels? Here's 2 more ribbons that I borrowed from Lexi's board. I knew she wouldn't mind. Would you like some help there, Angela? You know, this is very sweet of you to offer your daughter a party like this.
Yeah, well, Merle's all right. She's just knocking around with the wrong crowd.
I think it could do with a bit of a dust.
Custard tarts and singers, courtesy of the President Catering Company. With a little help from Mr. Pringle. Yeah, he's not a bad old sticker.
Well, he's going to be beside himself.
Oh, bugger, there won't be any room in here for us. Is that a fat joke?
Serves you right. Come on, girls, keep yourself nice. I am going to get the guest of honour.
You've done an excellent job, ladies.
Bloody hell, where'd you get them ribbons?
The other way. Look out behind you. I told you. Oh, duck. Bullseye.
Well, I was wondering if you could help me.
How?
Well, you know, Gran, that's my mum, sent me this lovely jar of sweets, and I can't get the lid off, and you're the only person that I know who's strong enough to take the lid off for me.
Okay.
No, it's not here. It's back in the dorm with Lexi.